Okay, just short run through. We're gonna do our usual topic, and we can take question in the end. You can type questions whenever you want, and then Anthony or Corn can scroll through that and say the topic, say the question out loud, and we can answer that at the end. So to get your question answered, you have to sit through me talking for an hour. So welcome to episode, I don't know, 13 of Audio Discourse. Today we're talking about one trick versus all rounders in IEMs, and we have our usual co-host with me. We have the person who recently abandoned the QDC cult. How are you doing today, Anthony? Are you living a miserable life free of QDC?
I can't tell you if it's miserable or not yet. I'm still in depression.
Oh, good.
Grievance.
I mean,
5 stages of
grievance.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see if let me know when you're into that acceptance phase, or
right.
maybe you're never. Next we have a we have Ken. How are you doing today, Ken?
Great.
And his Singapore partner of crime, Corn. How are you doing, Corn? No introduction
Hello,
for you
how you
guys today.
doing?
Okay, so we're doing this live. So yeah, as I was saying, get your questions in, but we'll answer it at the end of the thing. But we'll usually, if we decide to keep this live, we'll usually do a topic first and then question in the end. If this live thing's not working out, then fuck it, I don't care. So on this topic, I got the idea when I talked to Bedrock Review, whatever his name is, about Valkyrie, and I was like, it's kind of an interesting topic because I feel like all four of us have some kind of a agreement in terms of the topic, and let's I'm gonna set the ground rule. I feel like we can all agree on this, and somebody can disagree with me if they want to. It's a very luxury problem, as I was saying. Like I think if you haven't watched the Tri-Fi episode, go back and watch that. Well, if you're watching it live, don't watch that later. That I explained in the Tri-Fi episode, like it's like we all agree on the Tri-Fi episode. If you have something like if you have like 10 IEMs that cost like $50, it's probably better to just have one IEM. That's like $500. But I think once you're getting into that TOTL, the top of the line territory, then I think we're getting into this problem of like whether or not you should have. I know it's a stupid question. Whether or not you should have like one $3,000 IEMs or three $1,000 IEMs, which is a much more realistic. Well, not probably like this is like what it is. This is like one trick versus all rounders. So why don't I go to Anthony first? And you knowing what you have, you are more of the all-rounder person, aren't you?
Yeah. So I've gone through a whole bunch of IEMs, and then I came to the realization that all my IEMs actually sound the same, just different price ranges. I have the Edomotic ER3XR, and I just got the ER2XR for the 4th time now yesterday. And then I got the Moondrop Blessing 2, and I got the Viento, which pretty much all had the same sound signature at different price ranges. And they all are all-arounders. Like, yeah. Very neutral.
Yeah, they all.
Yep.
Yeah. and which is fine.
Yeah.
And like depends on if you like DF. I think that's a very good sound signature for people to find out if they like or not. It's pretty cheap to find out too, if you like DF or not.
Yeah, I think from an IEM standpoint, yeah, that's kind of where I am. I found myself, but in the headphone world, I have more of, I guess maybe sort of one-trick ponies because it's much more diverse on what I have for headphones.
Oh, you just have two really bad headphones. Oh, what?
Sure.
But Ken, I think Ken is probably the one that's not going to, like, really doesn't really apply to him in his real life because he has this one IEM which it's tuned to his preference. So there's that.
So both are specialists and all rounder because it doesn't work for anyone else. It's a specialist to someone else, but it's all rounder to me.
Right, but you don't like what I mean is that I mean you know what music you like, and
Right.
and you do listen to a lot of music,
Yeah.
but
Why?
but you have a sound signature preference,
Yes.
and that IEM is tuned to your preference, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And I think what we're talking about here is like sound signature difference. So I think your preference is a little bit just like, oh, I like this kind of FR curve. So like you had somebody made an IEM that's fit to your curve, and that was just it. So I usually just like the odd one out
Mm-hmm.
here. I feel like
Yeah.
Corn here, he's a little bit more diverse because you have like what, you still have your 334, which is one trick. You still have your MG5, which is pretty one trick, and you have your SH3, which is a all rounder, right? So you're a little bit more spread out, which is which is nice.
Yeah, but at the same time, like I don't feel like they're like great all rounders in some sense, where they're just they're very special. Like I got them because of like a niche purpose, but
Right, which is
currently
one trick.
I would
You're
rather have
using
like
it for
one
one
great
thing.
IEM.
Yeah, but you're using two IEMs for like I don't think you how often do you use your 334?
Oh, I'm actually using it right now for the podcast. It's the most comfortable one for me.
Does my voice sound super smooth on your 334?
Yeah, still the same, I guess. The same
Okay.
boring voice, you know. Just kidding.
But I mean, you have your IEMs for different purposes, and I think you're the one that have somewhat of one trick. But for me personally, I think I used to believe in I used to have CE5. That's my most one trick IEM, and now I have two all rounders somewhat. I don't know. Like I think VX is pretty all rounder, and then Z1R is good for most music. Okay, so why don't I go back to Corn? So what's your thought on the topic, like on the one trick to all rounder? Just like your personal view, like say like should people, like obviously people should get like what would be a recommendation for people if they are like asking you?
For more people, I find that, okay, let's say if you're an average like say American or European, your access to audio stores probably isn't that good. So I'll be more happy to suggest having a more diverse collection rather than having a very specific IEM that does this one thing. Whereas if you're like a let's say a Singaporean, a mainland Chinese or a Japanese, then you would have access to try many different kind of IEMs and then to come up with something that you specifically like in a sense. Yeah, so for me it depends on the region and like the context, I guess.
Right, but if I narrow down the field for you, how about this? What if they tell you their favorite genre of music? Like, let's say if I like rock, what would you say? Which that's fine. Rock is a hard IEM to recommend for. What if the people say I listen to EDM and that's all I listen to? That's pretty easy to recommend, right?
Yeah, I guess could probably start with something bassy, like let's say the Sony entries, for example.
Fine,
Yeah,
but that's not the
yeah.
answer I'm looking for. But okay,
The answer is VX.
there you go. Thank you. That the answer is always VX. No, actually it isn't. But what I'm saying is that like in terms of recommendation, I think you got the point there that if people are more, if they don't know what they're getting themselves into, like for the most part, it's probably better to have a all rounder. And 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 it's probably easier to go from there. Just I think depends on what kind of music people listen to. It has a lot of like based on preferences. And like Anthony, I feel like what kind of music do you even listen to, Anthony? Like I feel like you don't have a
I listen
widespread.
to literally everything. I go through kind of almost like depending on season, I go through different types of genres. But I guess I grew up mostly listening to rock music and hip hop, and then I kind of expanded to lately more jazz music and orchestra music and stuff like that. But I guess primarily daily, I listen to like a lot of post rock and indie rock and jazz mostly, and bluegrass and country and whatever else you can think of.
So is that why that you like DF? But I feel like DF isn't really that great for like rock and
Yeah, there's
and country.
that's why I get that's why all the ones I have a bass shelf that kind of rises up a little bit to give me a little bit more of that warmer sound, but still kind of that DF tuning. I think part of the reason I go with kind of an all-arounder is because I use IEMs more so when I'm at work, and at that point I just kind of listen to whatever I feel like listening, and so having an all-arounder kind of works with all the music I listen to. That said, if I was going with like if I only listened to like EDM, for example, I probably would not get a DF tune. I probably would get something more V-shaped.
Have you ever thought about getting something just for one genre of music?
I have, but and then I try something out, and then I don't know. I think I just don't like it because I don't stick to one specific genre that often.
Right, but like, don't you like you don't have those kind of moods? You just want to listen to one type of music.
Yeah, there's that occasional like, man, I feel like I'm missing a lot of bass and a lot of slam, and a lot of impact, and I've been getting that actually more recently. That's why.
Yeah, because like now that you don't have anything.
Yeah, the VX was kind of that for me. I mean, that's kind of like the upper end of bass that I like, and I don't really have that right now. So that's why I've been considering looking at like the Neo or something else. But now that I'm working from home more often, I use my headphones, which I have a more I have some individual headphones for certain things. But going back to IEMs, I'm like, oh man, I miss some of that extra bass slam that I get from my headphones that I don't have on my IEMs.
And I think like if you don't listen to that like big variety of music, I think it's very okay to narrow down your IEMs. And all rounders are kind of like, I feel like they're not really like, it depends on how much money you put into it. They're still not good at everything, and it's just still kind of like makes you want to well, not for you, Anthony, because you only have one IEM. You just like either go to your headphone or IEM, but like this is like maybe somebody else can like has any of you ever feel that you want to change IEM when a different song comes on?
Well, before I got my bespoke, yeah, it's like every time it's like like maybe certain EQ would work, and so on. So well, that's how I derive with my preference, and then hey, I just get one that it works with everything I listen to. But of course, there's always more bass is better for certain type of genres. But at least this all round is a good all round for my genres. But if you're saying for a certain genre, yeah, there are times when I still want more bass. So
yeah, and I think it has, and FR is a thing, and I feel like driver configuration is also the other thing. It's less of a problem now, I guess, for me. But I used to have Gemini and CE5, and the only reason I had CE5 just to listen to electronic music. And I would never listen to anything else with it, and I would never put my DAT on shuffle with CE5 because it's just so painful when anything other than electronic music comes up, because it's the vocal dip is way too much, and it's just like it really doesn't do anything. Still one of my favorite one trick, by the way, CE5, one of that I've owned. But then I have Gemini, which I'm very unhappy with how the bass works. So I would never listen to electronic music with my Gemini because the bass texture and it's just so low res. I couldn't listen to the bass on my Gemini. I don't know, Corn. You're the one that you're the only other person that has a one trick. Like, do you just do your SH3 the entire time, or do you ever feel the need to like switch to your DDC IEM?
Oh, to be honest, I do have like EQ profiles for each of my CIEMs. So when I was just want to switch it up, I'll just turn on my EQ to match my target curve, and then uh yeah, it just sounds better, I guess. But I mean, even if
Yeah,
you
but
add to
like
the same curve, like some IEMs excel with different stuff. Like for example, 334 and like 334 doesn't have much treble extension, so even if I EQ that, doesn't really sound right. But whereas if like let's say my CE6, it does sound better when I EQ to my target curve.
yeah, and but like what I'm saying is that do you sometimes crave the DD base to have a DDIEM? Right?
Oh
Like you can't EQ decay into a into a BA. I mean, that's not
yeah,
how it works.
But he
Right.
loves BA bass.
yeah. Like I don't have
Oh,
like a huge like boner for say like a DD base. Like I mean yeah, I do have an MG5, but I don't feel that the DD base is as like I don't need it as much as like some people do, where I find the like most IEMs DD base tend to be sloppy sounding.
Yeah.
BA just sounds more put together, more tight, controlled, and that's what I prefer about BA bass.
oh boy. So you never thought to yourselves like, oh man, I wish I was Z1R right now. Like
No,
never.
he disliked DD bass. What are you talking about, Rush?
Yeah, the Xeon
I
sounds
don't
like a
know,
bit
like
slow to me.
The ZONR is not very good either. I don't think so.
just because it doesn't fit your ear, just mean like okay, whatever. Um, how is porn? Since you hate, if what's some good one tricks that you think are good?
Like for what? Like bass, mids, or treble?
Anything. Just like you listen to it and you go listen to it and go think like, that's really good, but only for that one thing.
Okay, for me it's the Empire's Valkyrie. Like its
There
sub
you
bass
go.
is insane,
Yeah.
man. It's a guilty pleasure.
Um, anything else?
Uh, Perhaps like the Stax headphones for treble. Yeah.
The $50,000 setup that nobody probably has. Yeah. What about you, Ken? Any one trick that you love?
Uh,
Like just out in the market, not you would have?
sorry, not out of the what?
Just in the market, that's not something that you would personally own, but something that you like.
Oh, okay. Well, the Valkyrie. Yeah,
I
it's
think everybody wants to say the Valkyrie.
no, but it is. When I first heard it, I'm like, hey, this is the best Empire years
This is the best. Okay.
the best Empire year I have heard ever. You know, I was
Yeah,
like,
I think Anthony needs to go borrow the Valkyrie and see how much he hates that IEM. You will hate it.
no, but hey, it's true. It's not great for all things. Like if I play my orchestra, it's gonna be like ooh, you know. But if it's like electronics and no vocals, like U shape V shape stuff, guilty pleasure like what Con said, the bass awesome. It's clean, no bloaty nonsense. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to try it.
Let's go into a mini Valkyrie review. Okay. So here's our mini Valkyrie review, right? I personally love it, and it's I think it is the best Empire Year IEM to date. Nothing comes before it is ever close, and let me tell you why the Valkyrie is so great. Empire Years are shit, okay? They're like awful. The Zeus is good for its time, but like now, like 7, 8 years later, that it doesn't really keep up with its time, right? The Legend X is a confused IEM that tries to have resolution but have like bass bloat up the ass. It's just so bad. Like you're trying to be high res, but you also like tune it so heavily, like that's towards the low end, that it just does not sound very good. The Valkyrie is it's a more confident LX. It's literally what the LX tried to be. It's just like, oh, screw this resolution. We're just gonna double down on bass, and if you're a bass head, just go like. That's what the Valkyrie is. It's a better Zeus, $600 cheaper, and is not confused. Do you guys agree?
It's like a Virgin versus Chat.
I mean, yeah, like it's Empire Year just gave up on the whole, the Zeus. I mean, not the Zeus, the LX technicality thing. It's like, oh, we're just gonna make this. And guess what? It has better bass than their 2DD. it somehow has treble extension with their one EST, which is better treble extension than the Empire Years Wraith.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Man.
Also for the Legend X, right? There's actually quite a bit of resolution going on the upper mids treble. But bass is the main issue. Well, bloat is one, but I think the greater problem I have with it was the bass texture. That there's nothing. It's smooth. It's lots of bass.
Yeah, because it's
their bass head that can like the amount of bass. I mean, some people don't mind bloat, but the greatest problem I have with it was the texture, not the bloat. Like, I mean, if you look at like Zelento, T8IE, it the FR seemed like it has much more bloat and will have a lot of problems. But when you actually hear it, hey, the bass is well textured.
Yeah, and I think like it's more of like it's like I think like I have issue with the quality and the quantity of it, and I think you have more of a quality issue with the bass of Alex. But don't talk about the old flagship. That doesn't do anything anymore.
Yeah, so back
Valkyrie,
best. The texture is awesome, and it's like, hey, half the DD, man.
Isn't it also the same DD on the LX?
Yes, technically the same. Well, that's what they advertise the same. I mean, from a logistic standpoint, they should use the same. It's just tune it differently, right?
And if I ask, and if nobody knows what, if somebody go into E blind, and then people will put, if you know a little bit about IEM, if you're somewhat familiar, but you don't know about E, and somebody put their two new IEM in front of you, which is the Wraith and the Valkyrie, and they will ask you which one is more expensive. I think most people would just say the Valkyrie. Not because it's good, it's because how bad the Wraith is. But Valkyrie is good though. No, you see, it's the I feel like it's the spiritual successor to the LX, their previous flagship, and the Wraith is their successor quotation mark to their previous flagship, which is the Empire Years Zeus. Obviously, one of them did a better job than the other. Somehow that one did is the more simpler IEM with half the amount of DD and 1/4 the amount of E-stats driver.
To me, Zeus is like it's a very odd kind of like IEM. Like,
but it's still trying to be all rounder, right? It's still trying to be like a neutral.
Yeah, it is so like not Empires, like of today. Like Empire is like so warm, so like a lot of bass, and then you have Zeus, which is like, what? Like, where's the sub bass?
But Zeus is before LX, also before.
Yeah, it was their flagship. Like
yeah.
I think at least 4 or 5 years back, I believe. Or was it just 3?
Yeah, they always been have their flagship as their neutral IEM until LX came out.
Oh yeah.
Wraith is like a better roller, so that's about it.
But Roland is tri-fi.
If I'm not wrong, Wraith was supposed to. I mean, it is advertised as like the successor to the Zeus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
yeah, I don't understand.
Well, that's a dumpster fire that we're not gonna get into. But Valkyrie was the successor to LX, which they didn't advertise because they don't want to, because they're still selling LX right now. But nobody in their right mind should buy the LX when Valkyrie is a thing. It's just like one of the best one trick, I think. If you like EDM, so like it's great. It's great with electronic music, and that's about it. I can't think of anything else, honestly.
The Legend X fares okay-ish for some people when they do not They do not have very fast tracks. They have very single vocalists and very little instruments and very very simple. Like the complexity will kill it. Like it'll be congested, right? So there are some folks who actually prefer it. I mean I meet people at stores and I talk to them and like, hey, they actually prefer the LX. I'm like, okay, so why? And
only people who likes the LX are the previous LX, like are the current LX owners that are lying to themselves that their IEM is somehow more expensive and better. No, that is definitely not true.
Okay, I mean, well, I'm just like sharing the observations I've and okay, so I'll talk to them. So what song do you listen to? And like, show me an example. So I'll just hear it. And like, okay, so I get where they're coming from, and because the Valkyrie is the extreme U shape, right? So like, well, certain vocals take a hit. So for some folks that they want that vocal, okay, I can see where they're coming from. But at this junction, I think both are one trick, and Valkyrie does better one trick for
Exactly.
one.
Yep. Exactly. Like Valkyrie does, like it's what I think it's $900. It's at least $600 cheaper. Last time I checked. So like yeah, like in my mind, I don't think like depends on what kind of music you listen to. If you listen to across the genre, maybe I don't know, Singapore guys. What genre do you think LX does better than Valkyrie? I can't think of anything in my head. Honestly, no.
Well,
maybe just like a very like vocal heavy kind of genre. I don't know.
Like low mid vocal, like male vocal. I don't
I
even
guess
think
something like very sultry and intimate, like let's say Stacey Kent or something.
yeah, like I mentioned just like a single vocalist, not a complex track, not
Okay.
like then in
Yeah, so I mean,
I
hardly anything that So yeah, just fucking sell your Alex and get a Valkyrie. Way better IEM, and you're still buying American. But going off, like no more Valkyrie review. You're not gonna see me shilling another American company for a while. And Anthony, you wanna? I don't know. Something that you probably thinking about buying. Are you actually curious about getting the Neo?
Yeah, I am.
Are you serious?
I am. I'd say 70% serious. Yeah.
Well, what's the why? Like why
Why?
would you ever?
Because I think it. So back to what I said before. I have 3 or 4, 5 IEMs that are basically all the same, at different price ranges, and so actually, me change topics. I actually do have a one-trick pony. It's the unique melody Me 1, and it's
Oh my god, no!
It's the one-trick pony and sounding terrible.
Oh my god, no! Yeah, dude, that thing is awful. Like no.
But it's also a really good IEM to learn how to EQ with. So that's one trick. You learn how to EQ it really well.
I mean, sure.
Yeah. So back to Neo. I'm interested in Neo because I think some of the IMs I have I don't think are super great for certain rock music that I really like, and if I ever want to go back to listening to EDM again, stuff like that, I think the Neo would, just looking at the FR curve for it, looks like it's something that's tasteful but has an extra bass emphasis and a little bit more laid back treble that I think I'll still like it, but has the extra I don't know, coloration to the sound that I might want.
I have on good authority, and have you guys, the Singapore guys, have you guys gotten the Neo demo yet in Singapore?
Nope.
Not yet. I asked today.
Isn't it just a universal NA?
No, it's not.
Huh? It isn't?
Yeah, my insider source tells me it's not, and then as well as Twister. I mean, he did post a graph that was calibrated.
Okay, now let's not trust
SML1.
graphing and Twister.
No, but he put it next to a new 12T, so there's some legitimacy in his graphs.
Wait, so is it really a 12T ODD?
No.
It
What
looks
the
a little
fuck
bit.
is it then?
It looks a little bit more laid back than the U12T.
12T is already laid back.
I know.
Yeah.
A little bit more, in
How?
the 6 to 8K range. Looks a little bit more recessed.
I find it really odd how some people tried the Neo and then the Universal and then they claim it's the same thing.
Well, I wouldn't know. That's why I'm trying to. I mean, if it would be nice if they are the same thing, because I do like the NA demo.
It does seem
That's
like
what's
it does seem like in the graph that Twister posted, he used like every filter known to mankind, and it looks like the filters make a pretty big change in some cases, especially that new MX filter that comes with it.
Oh yeah,
Seems
but
to
like
completely
past
change it.
1K it looks totally different.
Yeah, past
Yeah.
the treble past 2K, the treble just looks different. It's like there's no way it's the same IEM. Or
Yeah,
if it is, it's a very bad QC there.
Like even the Pina gain vision at like 1K, like it rises before 1K.
Well, I guess we can't really talk about the Neo until Anthony get his hand on it, and you guys get the demo. I mean,
Yeah, I guess.
I think Resolve will get it before me.
well, no, didn't Lint bought it? So I think
Oh yeah,
think, let's try it.
they're still waiting to
Yeah.
get it shipped, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, whenever it's headphones.com, if you're listening to headphones.com, whenever you guys get the Neo, it'd be nice if one of your potential buyer will buy it, will get a demo of it. But no, I think I mean knowing 64 and their DDs, they're usually pretty good with I mean I'm very happy with the bass, just the bass on the Trio and the Forte. So I have like some high hopes for it, I guess. But like, if it sounds like the NA, which it doesn't, then it will be a good IEM. They should have just made the NA demo, NA Universal. That's my thought on the Neo. Why don't I get maybe this will just be a mini, one trick pony review, with my Singapore boys. The other one trick that I love, which I will probably depends on how it goes. I probably do one in the future. The FW10K.
Ooh,
Oh, Rush is cancelled. Rush is cancelled.
Oh, I love that IEM. So I don't know. I one of my regret is that I bought the major instead of the FW10K, just because how bad the major came out to be. So I always thought to myself, well, yeah.
Is that the one with like the giant 5K spike?
No, it's the one with the giant Pina gain.
Yeah, at 5K, right?
It's not a wait. Was that? No, it's at 2K.
Oh,
It's like 15 dB at 2K starter. It's like the best single DD, or the Corn. Isn't that just the best single DD ever made?
I don't know, to be honest. I'll say for me it's probably yeah, actually it's probably a costume for me, I guess.
same for me. The
You
especially
guys
the
are
new
awful.
the new costume. It's
No,
high res, man.
No, it doesn't. No, not as high res as my Weeaboo IEM, the FW10K.
Okay. If you do want to say one trick pony and high res, yes, the after 10K is high res. I have
It's probably the only single DD that has treble extension.
no, not true. The final A8000 has.
Oh my god, that one is awful though.
It's garbage. It's
Yeah,
garbage.
but I'm like, you just say treble extension.
Okay, but it's good with like FW10K is not that bad. You can like, it sounds normal. Okay, fine, it doesn't sound normal.
No, it does not.
Yeah.
Come on, it does not sound normal. Come on.
Just
It's very,
convince
like,
yourself
upper
it's
mid
not
and
good.
treble tilted.
I don't have to convince anything. You know why? Because I'm a fucking weeaboo, and it's great for weeaboo music, so I have no regret on loving
No,
the FW10K.
it's a one trick, and well, if it does well, it's one trick, then it is a good one trick.
Yeah, you will never listen to any basic music, and it has treble extension, and it has like really a lot of upper mid. That's
On that topic, I have a question, and this is a general question to a lot of people. Why do I guess like anime OSTs or like music that has very high like female vocals? Why do people prefer stuff with such a big Pina gain? Doesn't that make it way more harsh and annoying? Because that's how I get it.
I really don't understand that, because I listen to a lot of female vocals. The old J-pop, some old Chinese music and orchestra choir and stuff, and it can be really high. And I don't like anything like near 10 dB of Pina gain and stuff. I have
you
no
don't
idea
go
how
in the
people
same
like 15,
volume.
because I personally do not like anything that's like even close to 10.
Yeah.
You don't like your favorite female vocalist shouting in your ears?
No,
Is
no,
that not your
not.
is that not your preference of listening to anime music? Then you're just doing it wrong.
No, I mean like, or some. Well, I mean I do go to concerts and I hear choir. They don't sound like that. So no.
But the thing is that you don't listen to it the same volume, right? You don't volume match based on the bass, right?
I
so
do.
like when you,
I do.
cause and you listen to FW10K like that, you will fucking like get your ears gouged out.
Yes, which is why I've like I tried to
This
match
is why
bass
you
and I
don't.
couldn't. And I like
This is
no, it's
why you
freaking no
don't.
bass. Like no, I can't listen to this. No bass. You know.
So the point is that when you listen to FW10K, you volume match on the vocal, so the vocal is super forward. So like you don't have that like, so like it's not that like it's in comparison the vocal is super forward, and that's why it's good.
Yeah,
And it has no bass.
Which I tried, right? And when I'm doing our audition, like okay, so I can't match the bass, fine. So I volume match the vocals, and yes, okay, but still it is a little shouty, but okay, I can deal with it. But hey, it's no bass, and like, well,
It's not
even
supposed to have any
even
bass.
about simple, well, at least for my genres, even about simple songs, I most of the songs have a nice bass guitar at the back. If my bass guitar is not there, I'm not going to listen to it.
Not your genre. Just weeaboo female vocalist singing. That's it. No other thing.
Yeah.
Right? That's all you're listening to. Nope. Like this.
Just
That's
an
why I say
acapella.
one.
You're
Yeah,
asking the wrong person,
much.
you know. I wouldn't know, you know, right?
Yeah, like that's why you don't understand why. I should have Hual on this. He will back me up. That's
Yeah, what will back you up? Yeah, get
Buy one.
The rest of us are just
Yeah.
confused.
No, he's looking about buying. I'm
Yeah,
thinking about
he loves it. He loves it. He tells me every time. He's like, "Hey Ken, you know, like I found this on YAJ, man."
It's so. I'm telling you, it's so good. You just don't have the volume match to anything else other than vocal.
I'm gonna try it.
Never. Well, I
How are you gonna get to try it?
I don't know.
Then nobody carries it here.
wait. So you're saying it's a great one-trick pony for if it's a
Oh,
single
it's lovely.
vocalist and nothing else.
Yes. So
Okay.
if you only have one vocalist and it only has like a string instruments, so like violin, piano, like you can listen
Yes.
to that. But so nothing like no bass guitar, nothing like that.
Yes.
If you just have like
Like it can't reproduce the bass of the piano. What do you mean?
No. If it's just acoustic guitar and a vocalist, yes, I would agree 100% it will work. You know.
Actually, I tried it for acoustic.
Yeah,
Like,
but when
I remember a friend like he played the music in Cars, like the cartoon, like the cartoon film, and then he played this track with like a male vocal and like some percussive as well as acoustic guitar, and then it was so shrill like even in the movie track I couldn't take it.
any moment the track has any bass instruments is out. But if you say it's purely like strings higher frequency strings instrument plus only vocalist, yes, I would agree. It will work. It will work.
some people just like vocal. Okay, you guys don't understand.
Yeah, but
No, there's no meat to the vocal. The vocal needs meat,
But a lot of the skinny Japanese female singer, they don't have any meat in their voice.
Yeah, Russia's vegan, so
When it comes to music, yes. Very, very pure when it comes to my female vocal. But no, fine, enough about ripping me on my FW10K. Somebody wants to buy my major so I can buy my FW10K, please.
you should lower the price on that.
Do you what? Whatever, I'm stuck with that freaking IEM. How about move the talk to maybe some all-rounders that we all love? And I think like we're mostly talking about the extremes here. Like obviously something have like more in between. I don't know how are you guys feeling about all the in-betweensies, Anthony? Like would you if you
betweensies?
I mean, like you are more of like an orchestra, like more of a lighter, not lighter. What's the word for describing genre? Like you're more of like a lighter, like jazz, like orchestra music flavor, but sometimes you listen. Yeah, sometimes you're listening to something heavier, quotation mark, right? I'm making an air quote, maybe like rock or something like that. Would you get something? I guess like your Viento beat is kind of like lighter leaning, but they also have bass, so I guess kind of fills that requirement, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
would
as
you-
terms of like all-arounders that I would universally recommend, I think, Resolve mentioned this a little bit earlier in the chat here, that the U12T...
No, that's not the right answer.
The
No, that's
U12T
not
is...
the right... No, that is not the right answer. Can somebody give the right answer, please?
It's VX.
Thank you, Corn. That is the right answer.
Yeah, but the
we're gonna
VX
post
has
that
VX has that little dip there that kind of ruins some types of music.
You know
but
what? I'm gonna counter you.
I will still say that the VX is my favorite IEM, even though I sold it.
You're probably right. I think for 12T, if you want something that's probably a true all-rounder, like if you're really confused as what genre of music you listen to, if you're so
Like me.
unsure of yourself as a person, you should get the U12T, because that the U12T is unsure of itself as an IEM.
You should get the
Perfect.
Dawn. You should get the Dawn.
You know what? Actually, you know what? That's also right.
Yeah, the Dawn's also good. Yeah.
Yeah, but also if you don't care about technicality, then you would get the Dawn as well, right?
Oh, damn.
And the mess.
I mean, how about this? Like, a lot of all-rounder have one or two problems. I think U12T have the least amount of problems.
I would like to say that I will recommend Sony M9.
Oh yeah, I haven't listened to that still.
Yeah, we don't do mid-fight on this podcast, you know.
Actually, you know what?
Yeah, I mean, people are starting out, right? And like, hey, it's a good starter kit, right?
I think Ken is right, dude.
That's a
Yeah,
$1,000 starter.
Yeah, $1,000 starter kit. The all-rounder that does mostly. Well, you know what? I don't like how warm it is, honestly. And
Yeah, there's one flaw. You're not wrong. It has one flaw. It's a
Right.
general all rounder, but yes, one flaw, which I always tell people, like, I think M9 is good. I'll tell them that, hey, it's warm. If you do not like warm, do not buy it.
fine.
Yeah.
You're right. Fine, just buy the M9. How about this? I think the Z1R is a pretty good all-rounder. Well, not for your ears if you can't fit it.
I guess.
Like the male vocal is bad, but you can't deal with it. So unless you listen to like rock or death metal, I think then you wouldn't buy the Z1R.
Well,
But even then-
it sounds fine.
But even then, I think it's pretty good for most things. Yeah. Any other all-rounders that you think that's like pretty good for most things? Like VEA is pretty good, but that's expensive, so I wouldn't recommend that.
ER2XR.
Blessing 2.
No, we don't do mid-fi here.
No, that's not mid-fi, man. That's entry 5. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Damn. No, but it's good.
What? It's endgame. What are you talking about?
Entry
Yeah.
5. That's entry 5. Like, that's like, if you want to start in
Oh,
this hobby, yeah, that's entry 5. If
When
M9
are
is
you-
5, I
your-
think it's entry 5.
when are you getting your Blessing 2 back, Anthony?
I don't even know where it is right now. It's somewhere in Minnesota. I think I'm getting it back in the next couple of weeks. We'll see. I don't know. Every time I think I'm getting it back, someone else wants to borrow it, so it keeps kind of moving around the country.
Oh, that's kind of funny.
It
Well,
went
I
into
think-
Canada, and then now it's back in the U.S.
Yeah, it's on the never-ending tour.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we have a short topic today. I don't know anything we want to talk about when it comes to like one trick versus all-rounders.
I think we can add a bit on this, like, because you mentioned just now, like, hey, when you have like $50 earphones versus $1,500, and then three $1,000 versus one $3,000 earphone. So, well, it depends on the journey of the said person, right? And like if they start off, they should have a base reference. If they have $10-$50, they don't really have a good reference, right? So then it's pretty much better to have something better as a starting baseline. But if someone has already like few IEMs at a few $1,000, and then after that it's like, hey, he likes all of them and he just wants different flavors. He wants specialists and he has money to spend. He just want to get another $1,000 IEM that has a specialist. It's easy there because he has good reference to start with. But
Right.
But when it's like someone who started out and is going like ham on like 10 pieces of $50 and is still going on 20 pieces of $50, that's very hard to have a good reference of what is better, because if you have not heard better, you do not know better.
So I think again, Ken's right, and let me just reiterate. This is be the end of this. That this is not a this is a very luxury, like a first world problem for a lot of the IEM owners. So if you don't have a TOTL, if you don't have a top of the line IEM, don't have $500 IEMs. That is almost never don't have 5 one-trick IEMs that cost $100 to $200. There's no point. Usually having a $1,000 all-rounder like the M9, sponsored by Sony, or have a $2,000 all-rounders like the VX, sponsored by QTC. It's always better to just have one all-rounders than multiple one-tricks. But and after that, what comes after that, whether or not if you should get the one trick, is you already have that one IEM that you all-rounder TOTL. You might think about getting something maybe the same price, maybe cheaper, that's more of a one trick. Maybe get the Ears Valkyrie, gray IEM, get a CE5, or you can get the FW10K, which is the best IEM, single DD IEM ever. But
all the new acoustics.
Whatever, they're not even that good. I don't know, Anthony. You want to scroll through the questions?
I have them written down here. Actually, the first question is very similar to what we just talked about. What do you guys think about Japanese IEMs, and can they compete with Chi-Fi in the $300 range or less?
Japanese mid-fi.
So Japanese under 300. So it's basically Final, Audio-Technica, Sony. Does Sony have anything under 300 that's good? N3?
Yeah, the N3 AP. Come on.
Yeah, I don't like the N3.
I
like the LS200 from Audio-Technica.
I think
it has good vocals. I remember that.
Here's economic lessons for people that it's expensive to manufacture anything in Japan.
That's
so you're not gonna. Yeah, that's why they're made in China. That's why that's why your Toyota Prius are made in China. At least the batteries are.
They're made in California, aren't they?
The batteries? No.
The batteries
are made in China. Yeah.
Everything's made in China, batteries wise.
Yeah. So, in an economic standpoint, no, I don't think so. I mean, Final have a bunch of what?
The E series.
Yeah,
the E series, which aren't that great in my opinion.
No, they're not. They're very niche.
They have the what's the other one? They're really weird tuned ones.
Heaven,
yeah.
Okay, you know that the old list that we made, that the old IEM recommendation list. Just look at that. Go back and look at that 100 to 500 category, and they're all Chi-Fi, and there's a reason why.
Except for Etymotic.
Yeah, except for Etymotics. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. I don't know. No.
Next question. Okay. This is probably a good question for Korn. 5 dB Pina gain or 10 dB Pina gain. So, yeah.
I would say this question depends on what else what the other parts of frequency response is. For example, you could have 5 Pina gain, but if your bass is at 10 decibels, it's going to sound like haze. On the other hand, if you have 10 decibels of Pina gain, but if you have, let's say, even 8 decibels of bass, it will sound fine. It will sound like a Fearless, something like that. So, yeah, I think it's quite a difficult question to answer because of it is not the only factor that how do I put it? It's not the only factor that matters.
Yeah.
Where the bass and the treble, it plays a big part as well.
Yeah, when you look at an FR curve, you need to look at it as a whole, not just individual parts, because you're not going to get the whole picture. Everything is relative to itself.
Yeah, because it's a balance, right? Like if you have a straight line bass all the way to 1 kilohertz and then 15 dB of Pina gain and then 15 dB of treble, then
that's SSR.
that sounds like a great idea. When you're flat from 20 to 1000, and then put 15 dBs of peanut gain up to 2K. That sounds like a great IEM, don't you think?
Yeah, but
It's like
they
Diffuse
the
field.
peanut composition differs from person to person because everyone has different ears, right? So even by just your ear shape, it is different. Like personally, I do 6 dB, and Con likes more than 6 dB, right, Con?
do around 8 to
Yeah.
9.
I like 8.
And
I don't care. I'm very okay
And-
with not having any peanut gain on the 4SS, and I'm very okay with having a lot of peanut gain on the FW10K.
yeah,
I
you have a
mean-
very a wide range of
Yeah, I
tests.
don't care. I mean, it's not like I would listen to female vocal with 4SS. That's just kind of weird, you know.
Yeah, so and you go like 10 plus dB, right? If I remember correctly.
I think 8 to 10. Yeah.
Yeah. So like you have the most, out of three of us. I have the least,
Yeah.
but I have the most base rates.
Yeah. But it's
All right,
still
next
sub
question.
base race.
Okay. Next question, Anthony.
Let's see. This is Tyler's. What do you guys think about IEM companies moving to over ears? So
Have any IEM
Like-
company made a
like-
good over year yet?
I think the question kind of stems from the new moon drop.
Hmm.
How about this? Let's talk about Ibasso. Have you guys heard the Ibasso headphones?
No, I have
Oh
not.
yeah.
No,
Did
you
know
mean
they
they
made a headphone?
make headphones?
Yeah, they made
Yep,
it
they
like
made
did.
one headphone.
a year or
They
two
made
ago.
one headphone. The only reason that why you don't see it anymore because it's awful.
Yeah, like I remember trying it, and then the shop staff was like, okay, like I didn't know about it, so I tried it, and then I was like, this would be like a nice headphone for $300, and they were like, what? Like the look on their faces was like,
How much
because
was it?
it costed them, I think it's 1.5, like Sing dollars. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
it's,
thought it
it's
was like
pricey,
a
man.
$300
It's about
headphone.
$1,000 US.
The only other one I can think of right off the top of my head would be the Campfire Cascade, which Tyler likes a lot. So, which it's okay. I don't know if I pay
No,
that
it's
much money
awful,
for it.
no.
but-
It's so
Surprisingly, when I talk to the shopkeepers, it is actually pretty hot selling. They have the replenishing stocks pretty often.
the Cascade.
Okay, how if you compare the IEM, the quality of the IEM that they make versus the quality of the headphone that they make, I think Campfire Ear Audio does a very good job of making relatively comparable in terms of quality in terms of IEM and headphones. Take that as you will.
I personally prefer their headphones over their IEMs. So.
You mean
I mean,
you like
whatever
the
you
Cascade
prefer.
more than the Solaris and Andromeda?
Yes.
Why would you ever listen to the Cascade? It just sounds so weird.
No. I'm not saying I like Cascade at all. I'm saying it's better than the IEM.
Isn't Cascade just a hobo version of a TH900?
I don't know. I don't know what driver it uses, to be honest.
Like, it's not even about the drive. It's just the terribleness of the sound. It just sounds bassy, and that's about it. It's not even good bass. So
I
you might
like-
as well get the Fostec.
I like my TH
Not
600.
not your hobo one. The 900. The real.
the
the
one
real
that
big
the
one.
one that will blow your ears off with treble.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that too. You gotta have a tall one.
Fostex is garbage, man. Come on. Everyone knows
Oh,
that.
909 is probably the best headphone ever. So, yeah.
I can't think of
This
any
is not
other
a
company.
headphone show.
Do you guys can you guys think of any other company that does?
Moondrop is coming out with his new
Yeah,
headphone.
besides
I think
the
that's
Moondrop.
what we want to talk about. Probably not, because Tri-Fi. There's a good reason that Chinese company that don't make headphones. You know why?
Hi-Fi Man is pretty good, man.
Yeah, because Dr. Feng Biang, whatever.
方便.
Feng Bian,
It's convenient.
convenient, pretty Feng Bian. Yeah, he's got a PhD in something. I don't know what, but but he's been making headphones for a very long time, right?
Yeah.
And he was never. And how about the reverse? Have you ever heard of RE2000?
It's so thin, like a treble.
Yeah.
It's awful.
I can't remember what earphones I heard, but I heard one earphone from Hi-Fi Man.
They're all bad. They're all bad.
But the RE2000, it costs $2,000 because it sounds so
Yes.
good.
Yes.
I think someone mentioned that the i400 was okay, but I haven't tried that yet.
No, they're all bad. They're all really, really bad. His headphones are good. Well, he made two good headphones, and the rest of them are, eh.
You know what I found interesting? I guess on the reversal of this question, Korn's IEM tier list couple weeks ago. It looked like every headphone company who had IEMs on that list were not doing so hot. They were all at the bottom bracket, except for Sony.
Right,
Of course.
because I feel like it's the technology is kind of different. I think you don't really like at the big brands. Let's say
Sennheiser.
like how about this? Can you name a company, audio company that makes good quality headphones and good quality IEMs?
Sony.
No. What's their good headphone? What's their good headphone?
I like
Don't say the Z1R.
I like their
No.
active noise canceling headphones.
No, like audiophile headphones.
No, I heard the R10 is supposed to be good, but that's like a rarity. Probably.
MDR1A.
I don't like that one.
I think it's Mark II. I think
It's
Okay,
too bright. It's too bright.
the old headphones, the M1ST is good. It's okay.
it's
The MDR,
okay. It's not great, but it's okay. It's okay.
yeah, the like they're cheaper. The middle of the line, okay, like studio monitor headphones are okay from Sony. They're close back, you know. How about this? Audio, fuck, I can't say audio. Does Audio Technica make any good IEMs?
I like the LS200, like I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, I think
but it's not
kind of
great.
stop at LS200. Like everything
Yeah.
else, like the
Yeah.
IEX1 and the CK2000, like just what the hell is like garbage.
I don't think they cross over, man. I really don't to answer yourself questions. Like if you're making IEM, just keep making IEMs. If you're making headphones, just keep making. No.
I think the base technology is not a problem. It's the implementation. The implementation style of an IEM is different from headphones, right? So like you can have the technology like great, you make very good low distortion drivers, very whatever materials and blah 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 blah, but it does not translate to implementation. So the driver can measure well in terms of whatever distortion, but its tuning is complete garbage, when you do not know how to tune for one to any other, because it does not translate that way,
Yeah.
Yes.
I would
But
like
they
Focal
don't
to
have-
make some, but yeah.
No.
The two that they have aren't very good.
Cal makes IEMs.
Yeah, they have a couple cheapies. They're like under $100.
Oh, no.
They're not very good.
I think the best probably be Sennheiser. Not because that their IEMs are good, it's because that their headphones are good, and their IEMs are okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could agree with
Like
that.
I don't think like the IE 800, is that what it is? The IE 400, is that whatever they call it? Their
80,
old flagship.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are very okay, but their headphones are very good. Like 800, the 660, 800S. But they also make some really bad headphones.
They haven't
like
made a good
820.
headphone in a long time. I mean,
Yeah, they haven't
660
made
is
it,
okay.
but their old lineup is really good. Like historically, they make good headphones, right? And then their
Yeah.
IEMs are okay.
But
And-
well, Sony has a lot of good headphones for vintage. I mean, I went to some of the meets and I tried some vintage.
The only good Sony that they did not make. The only good Sony headphones, Sony branded, is the limited edition, like super weird driver that's made out of dead cell, wood cup close back. Have you ever heard that one?
R10 is it?
What? I think it is. Yeah,
No,
it's
apparently R10 is garbage. Like, Oritari tried it and he said it was complete garbage.
The R10.
it's
Yeah, R10.
That thing costs like
Yeah.
$50,000
$10,000.
on.
yes, it's not bad. It's not bad. Okay, have you ever heard of a company called Qualia?
No.
Sounds
it's-
familiar.
Yeah, they're the luxury brand. That's another manufacturer that make that branded under Sony. So they are Sony.
Oh,
They're
the
all
Qualia
IEM.
R10. Yeah, it's called the Qualia R10.
No.
Isn't it?
Like Qualia makes some really really good headphones. Like back in the day, back in the day. But like again, like Sony didn't. But that's you're fetching like far into history, like 700-800 years ago.
I mean,
So,
Right, yeah.
I heard headphones that are probably older than Con, and yeah, they sound good, from Sony. But well, you can't find them anymore, obviously.
No, I don't think like you find any company that makes good headphones and good IEMs.
Oh, JVC. I don't really like JVC too much, but some people
JVC
do.
doesn't make any headphones.
Yeah, they do. They
Yeah,
make a lot
they
of
do.
bass
They'll make
bass
good.
headphones.
Not
I
good
don't
ones.
good. They don't think they're good IEMs, right?
No, they're. Hey. JVC makes the best IEM.
Oh man, you're so desperate for this sponsorship from JVC, huh?
He's just trying to get all the Japanese companies.
No. Okay, wait. You mean like when you're saying Sennheiser and like the headphones, it's like okay, so that Sennheiser make great headphones and they make okay IEMs, right? So,
Yeah.
so you're trying to say JVC makes great IEMs and okay headphones. Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm not saying they make great headphones at all. I don't think. Again, I haven't heard their wood flagship.
No, it's in that you're saying they make great IEMs and
Yeah,
and
I mean, I haven't heard their good headphones yet.
I heard some random ones doing some meets. I think they're okay.
How about this? Fostex makes great headphone drivers, and they make great IEM drivers.
But not good headphones.
Yeah.
You know what? They make great headphones, not the one that you can understand.
No, like I tried every Fostex and it was not very good, to be honest.
I like my Ebony Fostex though, so I'll
Yeah, I haven't tried that one yet.
I don't know why you don't like the 909 corn, just because you're a baseline.
No, it's so treble. It's so sharp at the treble. Like, how could anyone like that?
yeah,
Because
it's way
you're,
too. If you change
just
the
gotta-
pads, I think if you change the TH900
no,
pads
it's a
to the
treblet. That's what it is. He's not used to it. He's a treblet. That's
no,
his
it's way too
problem.
bright.
No, it's not. It's okay.
No, it's like a huge spike. It's different.
If you change the pads to the 610 or 600 pads, I think it fixes a lot. It's because the pads have way too much distance from driver, and I think that just causes the treble to go nuts. And I think Tile mentioned that in his review of it back in the day.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think.
what, the 900?
Yeah, if you use the
Funnily enough, I
610
think,
pads with it.
Yeah, I think
okay.
Animus told me that it actually helps. Of all people.
I think the 909 is better. Like, not the treble. When I heard it, I don't really notice any treble peaks. Okay, next question. Like that was way too long.
You are immune to any treble mix. Come on.
I think
Yeah,
I am. Yeah.
10K.
Yeah,
I know. I think I am.
boomer.
Maybe I'm a boomer. Oh no.
He likes
Terrible
Grados.
realization.
What are your thoughts on edition IEMs other than the Viento? So this is probably the
I think the
better
Violet
two.
is the best IEM ever.
You haven't even heard
That
that.
I've ever heard. I know.
I heard basically all their lineup.
Violet's the best one, right?
For me, yes.
No,
But-
just in general.
But well, if we talk about general lineup, actually, I think the Viento has a spotlight now.
No,
but,
no.
no. As in like in general, people talk about Viento a lot, right? But they actually
People talk
need
about it
to-
a lot for a very shitty reason, Ken.
Yeah, just let me finish, right? Come on. So I know, yes, you know, the Viento is hyped and all that, but I think the others in the lineup really deserve you know, some airtime. They are actually really good. They don't make complete garbage stuff. You know, they make some quirky stuff, but even their quirky stuff is like, okay, you know, it's not garbage. It's just like, wow, you just like this kind of tuning, right? But they do have a lot of very pleasant stuff and easygoing tuning with good technicalities, like the Watts. It's a simple 3BA, and wow, they have it well done. You know, it's not a high end model. It's just 3BA, very well done.
I think we should ban Anthony for picking the questions.
I didn't
And
get
Violet
the
is the
question.
best. Yes, Violet is the best. Remember that, right?
Aren't most of their IEMs just DF?
No,
Kind
they
of.
have very different tuning.
Okay.
They
Well,
have a lot different tuning. It's interesting actually, but
Well-
they do have one thing going on. You know that they quite focus on vocals and technicalities. They don't just like they don't go for the sake of like one trick pony. They try to do all around, but when they do specialists, it's not a specialist that is like super flawed in everything else.
Are all their
Or anything.
IEMs like as coherent as the Viento, like in good mid range and stuff?
I would say so.
The coherency, yeah, they got it nailed. They do have some quirky tunings for me, but in general, they are pretty coherent. Yes.
Yeah, as a brand, they're pretty consistent. Like they haven't like made like really like egregious stuff yet or really bad stuff. Like the NTU on the NTRM, like even the lowest end stuff is like pretty solid to be fine. To be honest.
Yeah. Well, they didn't screw up single BA. There's so many companies that screw up single BA. Come on.
And Irville said this. And Irville said this like a long time ago. They say Hedition is like the Korean QEC, which kind of makes a lot of sense from what you guys are saying, because like they have this kind of DF tuning that they're going for, and they consistently just make BA IEMs. They're just consistently good, right?
Yeah, but
QDC hybrids though.
QDC, no. Let's just pretend that QDC does not make any DD-IEMs.
Yeah, then you can say that Hedition is somewhat the Korean QDC. Yeah, they're very consistent. They have a good lineup. They are even their basic low end stuff, so to speak, is like legit, like proper. You know,
Very expensive though. The one
very
BA,
expensive.
what?
They are very expensive.
$400. Their one BA.
I mean, the one BA is like it's like $400, and come on, there's so many companies that they can cost more than $400 with multiple BA. Doesn't even sound as good as a one BA.
See, and then that's what I'm trying to turn you on. That is the single. That's your custom automotive right there.
Yeah, I mean the ER4 is about $400 too. So.
I guess. Yeah.
They use the same driver, the same damper, so
is it
sound wise? There's some similarities.
Huh.
Yeah.
Maybe you should buy
And
that.
it's available in custom. So for folks who can't, due to health reason or whatever reason, there are people that really, due to health reason, they can't really use the ER4. Well, they can get the NT1 custom.
Cool. I saw
Alright.
I saw Ceramic, whatever it's called, from Vietnam. They did a custom reshell of a ER4 and it looked awesome. But yeah, now that I know that Hedition makes the same thing, that's pretty cool too.
It's kind of a waste of money, like, to be honest, like reshelling an ER4, because it's just an ED with a green damper, you know. Yeah, to me it's like you could just
Buy the parts.
Yeah, just buy the parts and then make it yourself instead of like reshelling one.
Well, some people are not as bright.
Gifted.
It's just
Yeah. Okay, next question. There's two people that actually asked this question or similar question. How do full BA IEMs compete with hybrids in the top of the line market?
Corn loves BA IEMs.
Yeah.
So
I like BA IEMs too.
oh shit.
But I'm still
Something
looking for that hybrid, and I think that's why the Neo is on my mind. And then I tried the
You
Mest.
have an ear problem. It's just genetics, man. You're just genetically defective. That's what you are, Anthony.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Solaris and Seaman are terrible.
Wait, hang on a bit. Isn't 64 audio universal fit not great?
Yes, their spit is cancer in some other reason.
They fit me
Like, it's
really
not-
well, actually.
It's
Okay,
cancer
Just
for
need
me.
us lah.
And the fit is cancer for me. Like,
Oh,
Okay,
they fit
enough.
great.
yeah.
Okay, Corn, go.
In my opinion, when it comes to BA timber, timbre, I mean,
It goes both ways now,
Yeah.
apparently.
there's some parts of the frequency response that once like you boost it, it sounds less BAE. For example, for me, it's the around the 200 region where if the 200 Hz to 300 Hz is too boosted, it will sound a bit dry sounding in some sense. Where the bass lines don't really hit as hard as let's say a DD, but it does sound a bit bloated, which reminds me a bit of like a BA kind of timbre when the 200 to 300 Hz is like raised, as well as if the BA rolls off like after 10,000 Hz, it sounds really low resolution and it will show up the grain of the I associate the BA timbre with grain, and when it like past 10K is like shelf like cut away, it does sound pretty low res. And example of that is like a 334 SR. Like the 334, it doesn't have much like sound after 10K, so it sounds like pretty darn low resolution, and it just reminds me of like a hallmark BA is kind of like in some sense. But I still feel that IEMs with like a let's say the TR treble or the true tone from UE, they do sound pretty darn good, like when the treble extension is boosted, and it reminds me less of a BA timbre kind of sound going on.
I think people have way too, like they put. I feel like people that like to rip on BA timbre, most people don't really know what BA timbre is, and they just like to brush it off because like, oh, but I like DD, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
whatever.
BA hearing aid bad. DD speakers good. You know?
I feel like if like people that say that, and again, I'm not gonna say that. If you complain about BA timbre, then you should go listen to 12T. As much as I don't like the 12T, it sounds very good for BA.
It does.
Right. And if you want the text,
M9, there's M9.
Yeah.
You know.
you go listen to the M9, go listen to the VX. So like, if you, of course, like I think, in terms of price, if you're buying a very cheap IEM like $300, I think it's safer to buy a DD IEM. But I think for the more expensive, like when you go up the range like 200, like $2,000, $1,000, I think a lot of the higher end offerings, just because the BA technology is there around much longer than the hybrid, I think we have a lot more very, very good pure BA IEMs in the Summit 5 category versus the hybrid. That's my thought on it. So
Yeah.
no, like,
I think for me, like, I want a hybrid. Just I don't know, maybe because I want that DD better. But they all seem to have some sort of coherency issue for me. Like, in a lot of cases, the DD just sounds like it's just disjointed from the rest of the BA drivers.
you know what I heard is very coherent is the Campfire Audio Solaris.
I haven't listened to the new one yet. I still want to try the new one.
That was a joke, by the way.
I know.
Well, the VE Elysium is coherent, very coherent.
Ah, yes, there you go. The BA bass DD mid.
But that thing isn't that thing like
hybrid the wrong way.
Is that $3,500?
Yes,
the DD is actually pretty much full range though. So the bass is handled by both the DD and the...
No, the DD. I swear to God, like the subways is BA. I swear to God.
Because there's so much more of the BA than the DD, but the DD is not completely shelved. That's why the integration is very smooth and coherent. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
So basically, what they could have done is just not have that BA in there and have a better DD and just make it not a tri-brick.
Well, they can't do the bass race without that.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll be very dirty. So yeah.
Okay.
Like Legend X, you know.
But I mean, like, there's no good hybrids on the market today. Well, nah. I can name you.
I like the Mist.
Blessing too.
Fuck out of here, no. None of that mid-5 shit.
No, it's not mid-5. Calling it mid-5 entry-5, okay?
Okay, how about this? Everything is mid-5, okay? I don't want to say low-5 because that's derogatory apparently.
No, it's entry-5. It's not mid-5. Come on.
Like Z1R is good. Trio's good. Have not heard the Neo. Valkyrie's good, but it's one trick. So
Mess.
I can't name any good hybrids. No.
Mess.
The Jomo Trinity is alright actually.
Okay, the Jomo Trinity is good. $3,000 no. Again, if you want to say Jomo Trinity is good, then Just Here is good. So like, there's very little like again like hybrid's been around for.
It's not even 10. It's not you can't even list 10.
Yeah, but hybrid's been around for a very long time. Like look back to LX, look back to Tia Trio. But the technology obviously still isn't there. Like I feel like we haven't solved the resolution problem, and we haven't solved somewhat of the coherency problem. I don't know. DD better. BA's better. Just like right now, yeah. BA's
Wait,
better.
do you mean resolution as a whole or just the base resolution?
Just resolution as a whole.
Okay. You usually what I hear is for hybrid is the mids and highs still have very high resolution, but the base and resolution
yeah,
is
because they're BA. But here's the problem, right? You have a lot less of those traditional multi-BA plus one single DD, right? the NA is one of them, but the bass bloat is so much on the NA demo that yes, there's resolution, but is there really there because the frequency is so out of whack? No. The LX has good resolution if you listen to classical, sure. But again, the FR is in the way, right? Either way, that like you like that's the only two traditional, again, the one BD plus multiple BA setup, right? That's good, but you are also not like, yes, you have resolution, but no, you don't really get them because the FR is so low end leaning.
Yeah, there's just so few like Komitate KRF.
REF is, oh my god. If you want to wait 3 years for an IEM that's just so mediocre, sure. I mean, it's balanced. I mean, yes, but like, it's also 3 years worth of wait. That's also very
I mean, I'm just talking about just quality. It is good enough to be called good.
Well, I mean, it's not particularly high res neither. I mean, I don't think REF is high res. Like, I like, can you? How about this? Like, I know like resolution is a very like tricky topic to like quantify, right? And for like, can you think of any hybrid IEM that's like have as good of a resolution as an M9?
Messed.
Oh, get the fuck out of here, Anthony.
No, it's
That's
good. The resolution is really good on it. Like top of the line resolution. You guys need to listen to it.
Elysian Annihilator.
No, that doesn't count. He doesn't get. No. Not a production. Like, you know, that he doesn't count.
Okay. Well, obviously you don't count my bespoke though.
Yeah, like anything that's like you can get on the street. You can buy.
I guess the closest is Trio and Jomo. I guess the Trinity.
Trinity, Z1R, and Trio. Yeah,
Well, I thought you don't count Z1R because Z1R is a given, right?
Well, yeah, I guess. So yeah, like it's. I mean, no, I don't think BA competes with hybrid. Hybrid has to compete with BA. Okay,
Next
that's
question.
too long. Maybe next. Okay, next question.
What's the difference between the 1650, 1655, and 1657?
There isn't.
16.
Why?
Sorry, 1655.
That's the connector, right? It's just one uses MNCX, one uses the Pentagon.
Sorry, can I get a model again?
1655 and 1657.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
that-
just the 1650, 1655, and 1657.
But
They're
5,
all
7,
quite similar.
5 are both Pentagon is.
Yeah, I think
So
50 and 55 is
fast,
same,
yeah.
just as Pentacon, but 57 and 55, there's a very slight difference.
No,
I'm not wrong.
even 55 and 550 have a slight difference when I hear them, but it's very
Oh.
slight. It's
I
very
mean,
hard.
like you're picking like rice right there. Not to be racist. You're trying to tell me between like two different grains of rice. If you don't A-B them, you will never hear the difference. How about that?
Yeah, okay. 55 and 50 are closer than 57 and 55. But yes, if you don't compare them side by side, it's so hard to tell. Yes.
I will go as far as to say if you don't A-B them, your 1551 will sound as the same as 1657. That's 3 generations later.
It's not very generational. I feel like they're just milking the money off the brand. I don't know.
I mean, yes, it's you know, it's like 1551 was the 3rd generation of the driver. 1650 was the 4th generation of the driver. 1655 was the upgraded connector of the 1655 with slightly change of tuning, and then 1657, and they just upgraded the tuning again. So like, you know, again, same fucking IEM, man.
Yeah, I think 1551 and 1650 has quite a lot of difference, you know.
If you don't A-B them, it just sounds this.
Yeah, that I must say.
You try this. You unplug one of them and you have your friend plug one IEM on one side of the ear and the other one on the other side. You tell me which one's which. You probably can't tell.
Damn.
You probably can't
the
tell.
bass is slower. It's more sluggish on the 1551. If you
You're
tell me
saying
The
No.
the 150, the 1655, the 1657, yes, it's really very hard to tell. I definitely.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if I unplug, I have two sets. I have two pairs. If I have 1655 on one side of the ear and 1657 on the other side, and I don't tell you which one's which, and you
I
listen
can't
to
tell.
a music,
I can't tell.
you probably
I
can't
can't tell at
tell.
all.
You probably think, oh, this
It's-
is actually they're probably the same thing. You fucking can't
The
tell.
only one I can tell is the 1551 to 1650. That one I can.
Oh yeah, that's like fucking different drivers.
Yeah. Those two I can tell, but the 165 is very, very hard to tell.
But like if you don't AB, there's no difference. Like if you
It's
don't AB,
very
there's
hard.
no difference.
It's very hard.
Yeah.
It's very
So
hard.
just get the 1551, man. Just whatever, or just better yet, don't get it. Just tune with the.
The
Dude,
151 is different. Come on, 1551 is different from the 16.
Well, yeah, but it's also $100 cheaper. What do you like? You know,
Okay, I mean,
how much is the 1657? $600, $700. It's
Yeah, I
pricey.
think around there.
Yeah,
Not
around-
cheap anymore.
Yeah. Okay. No. Any more non-acoustic questions?
One last question.
Yeah.
What's the most logical upgrade from the Moondrop Starfield?
You don't buy another Moondrop. That's a lot.
Blessing 2.
Blessing 2.
Oh my fucking god.
Blessing
Blessing
2.
2? Blessing
No, you know
2?
what? Ken's gonna be on this. Is the hydrogen oxygen? There you go.
yes.
But Blessings 2 better.
Yeah,
No,
Blessing
it
2 is
isn't.
better.
Blessing 2.
No, but Blessing 2 is more shouty.
It's Blessing 2 is based off of DF. Isn't Starfield Harmon?
Not really. It's like a warm Harmon. I mean, both are warm Harmon if you think about it that way.
No, but Blessing 2 is shouty. More shouty than the Oxygen, surprisingly.
I mean, wouldn't you just rather just get the SA if you want to stay with like shit drop?
The most logical upgrade is to VX.
Thank you. That is the right question. That's
But
the right
really, it's
answer.
the Blessing 2.
I mean, it's like what $100 upgrade, like Starfield is $100, right? So is the next upgrade like $500? Is the next upgrade like $1,000?
It's not like how is.
Like what do you mean?
What? Yeah, but what do you mean?
The
upgrade?
budget
There's no-
determines the logical or not, right?
No, then no. I mean, if you want another single DD Harmon, it's the it's the
N40.
hydrogen oxygen.
Oxygen. I will think Oxygen is a legitimate upgrade because it's single DD and it's better.
What about the AKG?
And it's not the AKG.
N40.
What about
Sorry?
the N400?
Did you forget how bad that sounds?
The N400. The AKG. The new Harmon AKG, no?
Oh, is that a new one?
Yeah, it's the TWS. It's like
Ooh.
apparently it's the best like TWS now.
Yeah, they have it's basically a Galaxy Buds with noise cancelling built into it.
But
So
isn't
really, it is
AKG
the end game,
Hmm.
and it's like one of the I think it's the only active noise canceling true wireless that doesn't stick out of your ear like
Yeah,
crazy.
I think so as well.
Are we reviewing? No, this is not. No.
Yeah, I think we should.
I will take the AirPods Pro.
Of course you would.
No, we're not. We're not doing the true wireless talk ever again.
Yeah, no,
All right.
no,
think we
no
should.
true wireless, no true wireless. Why?
I think this is the end. I think we answered enough questions.
No more questions, right, Anne?
Yeah, no more questions.
Okay, no more questions. So, I don't know if we want to do this. How long is that, Anthony?
Hour and a half,
Okay, that's not
almost
bad.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no more questions. Thanks for watching. Anthony will have the vlog, the actual podcast out.
Including the outtakes
Whenever.
from the beginning,
Well, you gotta cut that.
where you just yell at me. Yeah.
Yes. Well, yes, include that. I do like yelling at you on stream.
Yeah.
But we'll see if we want to do this like a weekly thing. Please give us feedbacks, I guess. Not that I.
Click like and
Okay.
subscribe and click the bell and whatever else.
Oh my god.
Slap like now.
Slap nine.
Slap
All
like
right.
now.
All right.
Cut it,
See
Anthony.
ya.
Producer. Maybe more